Good morning. It's the first day of Edinburgh Yarn Festival today. I just woke up and I'm heading out pretty soon to get some breakfast. I'm staying in my Airbnb and I have a wonderful view from here, from this window. You can probably see up there, there's the castle. I had a nightmare in Helsinki when I was getting ready to leave for Edinburgh yesterday, or actually it was the day before. I had arrived to Helsinki and I had dinner in the evening with my friend and then went back to the hotel, and it was almost midnight when I started to just check what time my flight was in the morning and prepare for the next day. And I decided that I will check in for the flight with my mobile. And as I was traveling to Britain, I needed to fill in the passport information for for the check-in, and I did that. And when I had filled in all the details that you needed to do, it said that I couldn't proceed any further or something. And then I tried it again, and as I was typing in the details for the expiry date, I realized that I had taken my old passport with me. And it was almost midnight. And my flight for the next day from Helsinki was scheduled to leave 7:40 in the morning, which meant that I would have to check in around 6 o'clock or soon after, because it was an international flight and I just didn't know what to do. I couldn't travel to Britain without the passport information or the passport itself. And so I started looking. I found out that the express passport might be a bit tricky to get in like 10 minutes. It could be possibly done, but there's no guarantee for me making it to the flight, because the police office at the airport opens at 7. And so I looked for if there were any flights left at a later time. There were some, pretty expensive, and I thought that there's all my yarn money. And then I tried to think, what else could I possibly do? And I finally decided that I will post on Facebook to see if any of my friends would be traveling to Helsinki that morning on the first flight. That was my only option. And to find out if I could get my passport from my home to the airport somehow. So I posted on Facebook, if anyone is flying on the earliest flight to Helsinki, please contact me. I need help. And that post went out at midnight, and then I had no other choice than to go to bed. I couldn't sleep, of course. How could you? But I tried to. At least I had a rest. And then it was 4 a.m. when my phone beeped, and I looked at it. There was a message from a friend saying that I am flying to Helsinki on the first flight tomorrow morning. So I quickly typed in my reply, can you please bring my passport if I can get it somehow to the airport? And she said, yes, we can try. It's still cutting it really tight because her flight would be also arriving in Helsinki at 7, so that's the same time that I would have been able to go to the police office. And okay, then I called my dad. It was a bit past 4 a.m. Wake up, you have to get up. Do you have my spare key? He said, yes. Can you please drive to my apartment and look for my passport and bring it to the airport? Someone will bring it to me to Helsinki. And he agreed to do that. He got up, drove to my apartment, found the passport, and went to the airport, gave it to my friend, who then didn't have any more time to wait. He just went to check in and on the plane, and I got a message from her during the flight, I guess, that they are a little bit delayed. They should land 7:05 to Helsinki, and let's hope that there are no other delays. Okay, and then once I got all these passport things organized, it was time for me to get up. I went for breakfast and then took the bus to the airport, tried to check in on my flight again with my new passport details because my friend sent me a photo of the photo page. All went quite well until the machine asked at the airport, scan your passport. Of course I couldn't do that. So I decided that I just have to go to the arrivals hall to wait for my friend and try to run to the other end of the airport and do the check-in then. And I started walking with my suitcase towards the arrivals hall, and about halfway there I decided that it's way too long for me to get back to the check-in once I received the passport, that it's not going to happen. So I went back to the departure hall, asked someone from the staff if I could check in somehow without my passport information, or without my passport but with the information that I had, and check in my bag, because the bag has to be checked in 30 minutes before the flight leaves. And he said it should be possible. We went back to the machine. It didn't work. He said that he doesn't know anymore. Ask those two other ladies, they know more. I went to them and told my story, and they said it should be possible. We went back to the machine. I tried it again, and of course it didn't help because it always says scan the passport. And I asked, would it be possible if I went to the desk and they would type in the information needed, and then I would get my passport at the gate. And they said you can try. There was a long line to the desk, people with all sorts of special luggage, and it took some time. I was looking at my watch, it was already past 7, and I think it was 7. No, it wasn't past 7, but it was soon to be 7. And when I finally got to the desk, and the lady at the desk said that she doesn't know if it can be done, if she can check me in without my passport. So she called her boss, and they had a long conversation on the phone, and finally they said that it's possible, but only in that condition that I show my passport at the gate. and only then I will be allowed to board. And my luggage will only then be moved to the plane once I have shown my passport. So I went to the gate and spoke at the desk at the gate and told them who I was and what was the situation. They had been informed about it already. So I've received a message from my pardon me. I received a message from my friend that their flight has landed, but they are still taxiing on the airfield, and then but they will be arriving to the certain gate, and it happened to be the next one from my gate, so that was lucky. And she had talked to the people on the plane that she needs to get out as soon as possible, so she was at the front of the plane to get out when they opened the door, and she came with my passport, and the check-in for my flight had already started by then. So I went to the line, and when I got to the gate desk to show my passport, I accidentally took the old passport from my purse, and of course it didn't work, and there was a bit of confusion again, and then, well, in the end it all worked out and I got on the flight. But it was a bit too much excitement for one morning, and I was really tired the whole day because I hadn't slept at all the previous night. And of course traveling always is tiring, but I already met some people I knew on the plane from Helsinki, and we had wonderful time traveling together. Hi Elina and Ritva and Ida, thanks for your company. Then we finally got to Edinburgh, and everything went fine after that. I was just so tired that I couldn't function normally. I had a bit of trouble trying to get into my apartment here, but it was just because I was so tired. But all is good now. I have had a good night's sleep. I woke up quite early, and I think, yes, the coffee shop has just opened. It's 8 o'clock, so I will be heading out, having my breakfast. I will be vlogging during my stay here in Edinburgh. I don't know how much, but we'll see. I hope you like it. I'm back from the festival now. It's quite late already. I spent the whole day at the festival. There were so many wonderful people who I met today. Thank you for each and every one of you who came to say hi. It was so lovely to meet you. And I bought already more yarn than I was planning. So I guess I'm done with my yarn shopping. I piled all the yarn on the table, and I think it's pretty bad when you don't even remember anymore what you bought in the morning. So the coming days will be more about just enjoying the atmosphere and meeting people. But I did some really nice purchases. I was pretty much sticking to my list and didn't have too many impulse buys. I also received some yarn, which was lovely. Thank you, Erin. And I also received some yarn that I had ordered earlier. But I will show you just a couple of the yarns that I got. I got a sweater's quantity of the Jacob yarn from Blacker Yarns as planned, and I'm going to make the yoke sweater from Anna Maltz's new Marlisle book. I don't remember the name of the sweater now, but it's a color work yoke with a graphic design, and it kind of looks as if you have 3 different colors because you use the marling technique. And I got the natural white for the body, and then this dark blue or teal color for the yoke color work. I can't even speak tonight anymore because I'm so tired. And this is the 4-ply yarn, but it's held double, so the sweater will be DK weight. And then another sweater quantity that I bought is this Jill Draper yarn, and I think it's sport weight. It's 338 meters per 113 grams, and it's 100% unregistered NYS Cormo wool. And that was also what I wanted to get, or at least see if anyone has Cormo yarn. This scarf is made of Cormo yarn, so, and it's the softest one I have. I really like it, and it's very lightweight, and I'm sure that this sweater will be wonderful to wear. And I also got some other yarn, but I will show them later. And then one book that was on my list was the new Interpretations collection, volume 5 by Hohi Locatelli and Veera Välimäki. I got this from Isolda's booth, and the pom-pom booth had quite a few of the samples, and some other booths had, at least the Walk collection booth had the scarf by Veera, which was knitting their yarn. And it was nice to see this blue sweater at the pom-pom booth because it's made out of my local dyer's yarn from Finland, which probably will be in my queue as well. I really like this sweater as well. And the scarf that, or the shawl that they had at Walk Collections booth it was really nice to see that, because the shape and the construction is quite unusual. And you couldn't really tell how it is in the pictures. It's this one. The Chasing Light shawl. I think there are only these two photos of it. And then this one. So you can't really tell what it looks like. But here is how it is constructed. And the rectangular shape is which is the lace part. Yes, and then in the evening I stayed at the knit night as well, at the big knit night at Corn Exchange. There were 600 knitters in there in the marquee, and it could have been the biggest knit night there is or has been ever anywhere. It was really nice to sit down after a long day and enjoy good food, good company, and just knit and share experiences from the festival and from our lives from different backgrounds. Good morning, it's day 2 of Edinburgh Yarn Festival. I'm just about to head out. I slept in a little bit because I've been tired the whole time I've been here. I'm heading out for breakfast, and then I'm going to probably visit a fabric store on my way to the festival. For today I don't have any specific plans, so let's see how the day goes. It's snowing. Good morning. It's Saturday and it's the 3rd festival day. I didn't film last night anymore. I had an early night, came back home quite early from the festival, had some fish and chips, as you do, and knitted on my piece of silver sweater, which has been my festival project, and went to bed. And now it's morning, it's snowing, and I'm trying to find a bigger fabric store this morning. I went to a little one yesterday and they had such a poor selection, only a few fabrics to choose from. I didn't really end up looking at them. They also had a selection of yarns, but most of them were acrylics, so I didn't stay there for long at all. I went to the festival and met so many lovely people again. It was really fun to have a chat. And I did buy some more yarn, even though I wasn't planning on. I bought some Jamieson and Smith 2-ply yarns for possibly a color work hat. And yeah, today I am going to go and have breakfast somewhere on my way to the fabric store. Hopefully it's not too cold. I have to say I didn't prepare for this kind of weather, even though I knew it was going to be quite cold, which is a bit stupid, but what can you do? And then I'm going to head to the festival, at least for the podcaster meetup. Probably not for much longer, and then I'm going to have a dinner with my friend in the evening. So let's start the day. I'm heading out this Sunday morning to get some breakfast and then back to Corn Exchange. It is the last event of the EYF Meet the Shepherdess, and I'm looking forward to it. The last day of the festival is now over. It's a bit sad. I've enjoyed myself so much this year, even more than last year, which was wonderful. And I met so many people. It's been a whirlwind. And today in the morning I went to the Corn Exchange for the Meet the Shepherdess event, which was a really nice, relaxed, less busy day. Lots of time to knit and chat, and there were also local vendors selling really local yarns who hadn't been at the marketplace earlier. And I ended up buying one more sweater quantity of yarn. I just couldn't resist. It is this beautiful, soft and fluffy Shetland wool from Lammermuir wool. The owners of the farm told me that they live only, was it 20 miles away from Edinburgh? So very local. And it's really, really soft. Natural grey. And when I was looking to buy this yarn at the stall, the owner started to cry of happiness when people were looking at her yarn, and she said that she can't believe that everybody likes their yarn so much. I'm not surprised that they loved all the yarn. It is beautiful. They had some black, natural black as well, and brown in Aran weight. I think the black was fingering weight, and they had also dyed some mini skeins with, I suppose, natural colors, natural dyes. And yeah, she was just really happy that people liked their wool so much. And when we were leaving at the very end of the event, it seemed like they had sold almost everything that they had brought with them. So if you ever come across their yarn, I highly, highly recommend it. It's beautiful. And I will also show you another set of yarns, which my lovely friend Tiziana from Italy brought me. She has hand dyed this yarn herself. It's 3 different shades of pink, all with speckles, and she couldn't have picked a more perfect color for me. Thank you, Dizzy. I really love these. They are all single ply merino, and I think I want to design a shawl with these. So stay tuned for that. And here is her card. We actually met last summer in Jyväskylä Knit Festival with her, and we've been in touch since then, and it was really lovely to see her again here in Edinburgh and spend some time knitting and chatting, going for dinner and all that. I don't know yet what kind of shawl I'm going to make, but I am sure that I will come up with something. I am leaving tomorrow morning to the airport and flying back home. It will take me the whole day. I have 1.5 hours flight to Oslo, and then the same amount of time to Helsinki, and then an hour's flight back home from there. And it will be late at night when I get back home. If my flights are not delayed this time, I hope they are not, so that I can enjoy one more day of work when I get home. I will be filming an episode sometime after my trip, and I think I'm looking at all the yarn that I bought. I probably should show you all the yarn because a lot of people have already told me that they want to see all the things that I bought. So I will do it in my next episode, but I will put a picture here in the end, or a little video of all the yarn. There's a lot. Too much, almost. But I have started buying more yarn at the festival, at knitting festivals, instead of ordering single skeins or single quantities online. And it makes sense to me because the postage can be pretty high, and I know that I'm going to use all this yarn that I have here. Okay, so here it is, all the haul, plus all the things that people gave me as gifts. So bear in mind, I didn't buy all of these, but I must admit that I did buy most of it. Good morning, it's my last morning here in Edinburgh. I'm just about to leave to the airport. The weather seems to be a lot nicer today, as it has been over the past couple of days. It's sunny, there are only a few clouds on the sky, and the castle looks amazing. But I can't enjoy it much longer now, so I will head out. Bye Edinburgh, I had a fantastic time. Hi, it's Tuesday morning. I'm back at home. Came home last night before midnight. It was pretty late. My last flight was delayed a little bit, well, almost an hour, and my luggage didn't make it to Finland. I had a really short change in Oslo, Norway, on my way to Helsinki. So I guess that's where my bag got left behind, and it didn't arrive in Helsinki. So I went to the desk to report it when I arrived, and then continued my trip back home. And this morning I got a phone call that they have received my my suitcase in the airport at home, so it should be arriving within the next few hours. It's a beautiful sunny day, just below zero here in the north, and I would love to go skiing. I probably will as soon as I have gotten my suitcase back, but until then I have to stay home because they gave me a 3-hour window when it will arrive. So I am just knitting on my piece of silver sweater, which has been my travel project at EYF. I am almost done with the body. I have a few centimeters to go before ribbing. And then sleeves. It has been a very good travel knit, very easy, lots of stockinette. And I started this just a couple of days before leaving for Edinburgh, so almost all of it I've done during the trip. And once I get my suitcase, I will be reunited with my beautiful yarn that I bought from Edinburgh. And I think that is where this vlog of EYF will end. Thanks for traveling with me, and I will see you with my next episode. Happy knitting, bye!